Good day everyone. In this video, we're going to talk about history and overview of embedded systems. Here's what you'll find in this presentation. History of terms. History of embedded systems. What is embedded systems? Application of embedded systems. Advantages and disadvantages of embedded systems. So let's start with history of terms. According to Mark Weiser, embedded system is associated with these three terms: ubiquitous computing, pervasive computing, and ambient intelligence. So these three terms focus on only slightly different aspects of future information technology. So when we say ubiquitous computing, it focuses more on the long-term goal of providing information anytime, anywhere. So whereas pervasive computing, it focuses more on practical aspects and the exploitation of already available technology. Well, as for the ambient intelligence, so there is some emphasis on the communication technology in the future homes and smart buildings. The miniaturization also enabled the integration of information technology or information processing and the physical environment using computers. So this type of information processing has been called the embedded system. So for the history of embedded systems, in 1960, embedded system was first used for developing Apollo guidance system by Charles Stark Draper at MIT. So the history of embedded operating systems, the first modern real-time embedded computing system was the Apollo guidance computer. So it is developed in 1960s by Charles Stark Draper at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology for the Apollo program. And then in 1965, Autonetics developed the D-17B, the computer used in Minuteman missile guidance system. And in 1968, the first embedded system for a vehicle was released. Okay, so in 1968, the first embedded system for a vehicle was released. The Volkswagen 1600 used a microprocessor to control its electronic fuel injection system. So by the late 1960s and early 1970s, the price of integrated circuits dropped and usage surged. So for Texas Instruments developed the first microcontroller in 1971. And then in 1978 or 1987, the first embedded OS, the VxWorks, was released by Wind River. So it's a real-time operating system, and when we say real-time operating system, it is a structure for enforcing timing between different tasks that you wanted to do. And when we integrate this real-time operating system to a machine, it's like constructing a machine that are aware of how much time things take in order to finish. The next one is Microsoft Windows Embedded CE in 1996. So it's a version of Windows which is designed to run packet-sized computers. So CE brought the user-friendly Windows 95 interface to mobile computing for the first time. Okay, so by the late 1990s, the first embedded Linux system appeared, and then the embedded market reached $140 billion in 2013, and then analysts are projecting an embedded market larger than $40 billion. Now, let's talk about what is an embedded system. So, embedded systems are information processing systems embedded into enclosing products. So it's just like a normal computer. It has a processor, it has a memory, and it also has an input-output. Okay, so embedded system only has a specific task. It could only um, finish tasks according to its specification. So compared to a computer, which can do different tasks according to its user. But the good thing about the embedded system is that there's no human interaction. Okay, so it could work alone or by itself. Okay, whereas computers could only work with human interaction. Okay, So some application of embedded systems, the robotic science, medical, automotive, networking, home devices, and industrial control. Okay, so most of the time we encounter embedded systems in transportation like airplanes and even in self-driving cars. We also use embedded systems. Um, Also in the manufacturing businesses wherein they're using machines in order to cut or to create things that would definitely require that doesn't require human interaction. Okay, so advantages of embedded systems. So embedded system simplified hardware which reduces cost overall. It has a low power operation. The embedded system is small in size and it is able to cover a wide variety of environments. So the disadvantages of embedded system, so it has no room for technological improvements. Embedded systems do a very specific task, so it can't be programmed to do different things. And to develop an embedded system, it needs a high development effort. Okay, so that's all for our um, first video. So that's history and overview of embedded systems in a nutshell. Okay, so thank you for watching this video.